Hello there, how's it going? Well, I've got something special tonight I wanted to share with you. I have always wanted to try a Tatiana cigar, so I decided to go ahead and try one. I bought a single from cigars.com, and I wanted to go ahead and share with you the way that you receive one of those if you buy a single flavored cigar. So, it comes in this bag, sealed up. And of course that's inside of a bigger box. I happen to have also ordered some other stuff, but in amongst it was this bag separated, kind of kept quarantined from your other cigars because it is infused tobacco. And they give you a Bovita pack to keep it at the right humidity. They take extra care. They go a little extra step there, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to show you that. If you're ever curious what how they ship it to you, if you ever order a single cigar, they do take care. So inside, got this nice looking little cigar. This is a 6-inch 44 ring gauge. So this is the first Tatiana that I've ever gotten. I've been wanting one for a while. They have some really delicious looking flavors, and so I finally got one. So the wrapper is a little bit messier than I expected. I actually kind of expected a really glossy, smooth wrapper, and this is a little wrinkly, little, I don't know, definitely a big vein there. So I can smell it. Wow, oh wow. I mean, I could smell it just over here, but oh wow, that's got some interesting aroma. So there's a definite chocolate smell. There's also kind of like a, almost like a boozy kind of smell. Dark fruit, like cherry brandy, or like just dark cherries, dark fruits. But mostly just a really decadent chocolate smell. It smells delicious. So I'm very excited about this. I've been waiting for the right time. I think this is a good night to go ahead and try it. So pretty excited. Wow. It's a really sweet, very, very sweet flavor. It's a little tight. Feels a little bit tight on the draw. But on the cold draw, it's a very overly sweet, like artificial sweet, cocoa kind of flavor. So this is the Tatiana Classic Trio. Nightcap is the flavor. This is a Dominican cigar in origin. Let's see. The website says it should taste like, it should have a mellow body with rich cocoa and cream. It's an Indonesian wrapper, and the binder and the filler are Dominican. So it's let's see, mellow to medium strength. It's tasting more towards the mellow to me, but it's very delicious. It's not as moist as I expected. It's the smoke doesn't have the moisture that I expected to have, which is interesting. It's more of like a dry cocoa. So, but it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. So the ash came off around the 1 inch or so mark. Did not want to hold on. It made a really nice tight little ash, and then it just fell off. Um, it's not what I expected it to be. It is good. The sweetness, I'm finding a little bit off-putting. The first aroma before I lit it was a little deceptive because it did have some kind of a fruity smell to it, and I've not tasted anything like that. What you get in the taste is basically a dry cocoa. There is a slightly creamy aspect to that, and there is a sweet, like artificial sweetness. It's not as decadent or luxurious as I thought it was going to be. The price was like 460 something, I believe, for a single. Um, that might be a little on the high end for this, but it is still good. I am enjoying it. I have discovered with this smaller ring gauge to really just kind of sip on it instead of taking a big puff. So it's like it's kind of sip on it because if you take a couple of times I've taken a normal sized puff like I would from a regular cigar, and it's a little bitter, so it's a little harsh. So yep, just kind of meant to be enjoyed very slowly. It's got a really fragrant smoke that comes off of it. Kind of wonder if anybody around here could smell it. What would they think about it? I think it would be an intriguing smell. I think somebody would smell that and wonder what that is. My little friend wanted to come say hi to you. Well, I'm about this far in. Just about the same thing as the beginning. It's just dry cocoa. Very mild, very mellow. Um, the sweetness has really gone away for the most part. It was a sweetened tip, which I don't know why they did that. I feel like it didn't need that. I feel like if it, I don't know, maybe it's because it's the nightcap. I have not tried just the classic chocolate yet, so I'm gonna try that one next. I do have one of those. Um, that will be interesting to see the difference. Now I am catching a little bit of a hint of fruit just came off of that, which is interesting. So every now and then there's just a little note of like a dark fruit somehow that's just in there. But for the most part, dark cocoa. Well, I'm enjoying my Tatiana. Um, it's not what I expected it to be, but it is enjoyable. Um, the Dominican tobacco is pretty pleasant. The construction is not as good as I thought it was going to be. The wrapper keeps trying to unpeel. Um, the ash doesn't want to hold on for a real long time. It really wants to come off after almost an inch or so. And twice I have just been taking a puff, and this much ash just has fallen on me. So maybe just a little quirk of this cigar. After smoking several of them, maybe you just get used to that. Like I said earlier, you do want to sip on it. You don't want to take a big puff off of this because it gets bitter. But there's been a really consistent cocoa all the way through. No transitions or anything like that. It does get a little stronger, of course, as the flavor intensifies as you get down to the bottom. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's been a pleasant smoke. I do like the cocoa aspect. It's got a creaminess that I like. The tobacco is just a hair harsher than I expected it to be, and the smoke is a little bit Not as velvety as I expected it to be. You know how it is when you kind of build something up in your mind of what it's going to be like. Um, but it's good. I like it, and I would recommend it. I would recommend, I think, to anybody thinking about smoking one of these, consider using a punch, because I used a guillotine cutter, and I feel like that was not the best way to smoke this cigar. I feel like a small punch would actually benefit a lot because I get flakes of the tobacco coming out. Almost every time I puff it, I get a couple of flakes of tobacco, and it's kind of a nuisance. So maybe a little tip for you there, use a punch. Well, I feel like I've gotten everything I'm going to get out of this Tatiana, so I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here. Give you my final words. I do feel like punch would have worked a lot better. I kept getting flakes of tobacco on my lips almost every time I took a hit. Oh, from the halfway down point. So, a punch, small punch, next time. Um, it started out with a high sweet note from the sweetened tip. I felt like it was unnecessary. It faded down by the first third that was gone, and then it just goes into cocoa, consistent cocoa throughout. Down towards the bottom, started to get a little bit bitter. It's not unexpected for that to happen, I think. Um, I did really find myself having to sip on it very carefully, um, because it does need to be controlled as you smoke this one. But this was a pretty pleasurable experience. I do recommend the Tatiana nightcap. I do think it was worth trying, and I am definitely looking forward to trying the Tatiana Classic Chocolate, which will be the next Tatiana that I try. I'm looking forward to comparing that one to this one. So, there's the Tatiana nightcap. I appreciate you guys coming along with me, and I will see you all next time.